you've probably checked overnight market, all of that, and you've seen we've got a bit of downside already, but not to worry. Don't worry about that. I mean, as long as you're not holding calls over the weekend, but definitely don't worry about any sort of downside. For right now, we are going into a pretty volatile week. For most people, I would say sit on your hands. Honestly, don't do too much this week, especially if you're inexperienced and you're new at this. Maybe just paper trade instead of, trading on your live account is some of my best advice I would give. But anyways, so for this week, Monday, we don't have too much going on. And then Tuesday, I would say most important would be consumer confidence. Wednesday, FOMC interest rate decision, and then Jerome Powell talking. So that will really shake things up. That'll be interesting to see, especially because if you guys don't already know, Jerome Powell and Trump they don't really like each other too much, and there's not anything that you can't just bring in a new Fed chairman. That's not possible, even if you're the president. So, we'll see what happens with that. Thursday, GDP, that'll be important, and initial jobless claims. And then Friday, we will be having PCE. That'll also be pretty important. So not for economic data, the most important thing this week will just be the interest rate decision and then Jerome Powell. And then in a second, no, you cannot have a play for tomorrow. If you are asking me for a play for tomorrow, you should not be trading probably. But anyways, let's go over what earnings we have next. I'm gonna need to reshare let me just look it up because I don't want to reshare my screen. I already have it pulled up on something else. Nope. That is not what I meant to pull up. I wanted to see. All right, there we go. Nope, my answer does not change. Because like I've said to my premium people, it's not about you guys joining and giving me money. The reason there's a paywall is due to the fact that the people who pay actually care to learn, and I'd rather not waste my time with people who aren't going to actually listen to me. That's the reason for the paywall. But back to the serious Sunday Stock Watch. I did say that as well. So this week, biggest thing I'm going to be watching for is obviously Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, even IBM I'll be watching for, and then Apple, Intel. I don't care about Intel, honestly. That company kind of sucks. Other than that, I'll be watching here and there, but those will be the biggest ones so far. So we do have a ton going on, especially for the tech market, especially. So you guys have to really pay attention to this. You please do not be in any Tesla contracts this week. Afterwards, after earnings come out, if you find a play that is worth it, that is A+ setup, by all means. But before and during, I do not recommend, especially before, just because contracts you'll see are extremely expensive, and there's usually not great moves before earnings. It depends though. Sometimes there are, but I would recommend, just base, MSTR, Mara, all of those dropped a pretty good amount. So, to be honest, we will have to see if this holds up tomorrow, but just basing my kind of, what I think off of that, and quickly what I will be looking at is, so Qs is currently priced at around 520. If we continue below 520, SoFi. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna just go over my stuff and then you guys can add to it later if you want. So please. Anyways, Qs, if we do end up dropping below 520, we can most definitely see back down to 515 area, even 510. I would not doubt for a second that we could see back to 510 either tomorrow or the next day if we continue with this downside. And if we do get upside, I probably back to 525, but it honestly doesn't seem like that. It seems like we're going to be extremely volatile until interest rate decision, and then we get big earnings, especially within the tech market. Next, if we go take a look at SPY, currently at 602. So if we do head below 600, I would like to see 590, even 595, and then into 590 area. Again, depending on how much downside we really do end up getting, heading into tomorrow and Tuesday, and then Wednesday up to interest rate. If we do get upside, we'll probably see back to SPY's new highs because we're not too far away from them still. Next thing, so Tesla right now has dropped to around 394. So a big level I have here is 392 on Tesla. So if we do see below there, we could see into 387, even 384. So definitely watch for that. I'm not going to be watching Tesla too heavily up until their earnings come out. I don't think there will be a good play. I think after earnings there definitely could be one, but again, we'll see. So that's kind of the area I'm looking towards. If we do get upside, just back above 400 into 405 is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm gonna go over NVIDIA. You guys have to be patient until I say, okay, I'm done going over stuff, and then ask me. Just please be patient. All right. Next thing I'm gonna take a look at is NVIDIA. Now getting into it. So NVIDIA has dropped to, I believe, 135.60 now. Obviously, I don't have overnight. Charts don't show overnight. They'll only show pre-market. So not super helpful right now. But anyways, so around 135. NVIDIA, I would only be worried kind of if we get below 130, but even then, I honestly think it's just buying NVIDIA at a discount at this point. But yeah, I'm not exactly looking towards NVIDIA to play downside unless, we drop below 133 is where I'm going to be looking towards to get some downside, and then, into 130. And if we drop below 130, that'll definitely be interesting. But if we do get some upside, then, looking above 138 for NVIDIA, back up to 140 maybe. That one's iffy, but we'll see. Next thing I'm going to go over, not SMCI, not AMD unless someone asked me to afterwards. Let's see. Coin. All right, I'll take a look at Coin. I know Coin is down to 284 already overnight. Pretty substantial downside for Coin. So below 284, I will be looking into around 278 area, and then below there, that will also be iffy. That's going to depend on if Bitcoin drops below 100, if it didn't already. Yeah, so Coin is mainly just going to depend on Bitcoin, but if we do see a drop below 100, then we could see Coin go back to 270, 275, 270 area for sure, if we get a drop below there. If we drop back into 95 area, 92, like we did a couple weeks ago or whatever, we could definitely see Coin back to 250 area. I wouldn't doubt that one. Next, Mara, I'm probably not going to pay too much attention to. Right now it's at 1905, but yeah, I'm not really going to pay too much attention to that. MSTR, I'll go over it, but I don't recommend trading it unless you have extra capital that allows you to trade something super risky. But other than that, I don't recommend trading MSTR. Same sort of thing with coin. We see Bitcoin drop below 100, even get to the 95 area, back to the 95. MSTR is really going to get some downside back to 300 with how much this seriously moves. But again, it all depends on Bitcoin. If you want to know, you have to be watching Bitcoin. Again, I'm not totally sure where coin or MSTR are headed this week, unless I know exactly what Bitcoin is doing. Next thing I'll go over is Meta. So obviously earnings on Wednesday, same as Tesla. And this one, this one's hard because we have just continuously made new highs on Meta. Basically almost all of last week we did. But it's actually not down. I wouldn't say it's down a crazy amount right now. It's back to 636 right now, 636.41. So it's not down like Tesla has been ever since last week as well. But again, don't be trading it before earnings or during earnings, obviously. But leading up to earnings, I don't think we're going to see too much. We could probably, if market gets some upside, we could see back to 640, 645. If we continue down, we could see below 630 to 625. But other than that, I'm not really going to be watching Meta. Same as Tesla. I don't really want to be trading either of them before earnings. And then Apple as well. Then we have Apple on Thursday. So this one's pretty interesting. We did break this bullish structure, and ever since I called that out about 2 weeks ago, saying that we kind of broke this and we could definitely see back to 230 and then 220 area. It would take some time, but now we are back here, and let me check. Now we're back at 219 overnight, so we have broken below 220. So earnings will really make or break Apple. Again, same sort of thing. Leading up to earnings, it's kind of going to depend on what the entire market does. Is Apple maybe going to go back above and trade around 220 to 223 area, or are we going to see 215 to 219 area before earnings? And then earnings, I think, will have to make or break. Are we going to be trading back again in the 200s area or back to 230? We'll see. Earnings will have to determine that. Okay, and that's mainly all that I'm watching for as of right now, especially with the downside we're getting and how volatile this market's going to be this coming week. I really wouldn't be messing around too much. All right, now is there stuff that you guys want me to go over? Let me know. Starbucks? They have earnings this week, right? Yeah. Starbucks is not something I usually trade. I know some people do. But let's take a quick look at it. What else are you guys saying? Tuesday. Let's see. So Starbucks hasn't made, a massive move. I remember they got some kind of downside here. I remember when that happened. But if you look from August all the way to November, Starbucks hasn't moved a whole lot, about $10 in each way. If you want me to kind of go over earnings, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not prepared to go over Starbucks earnings, but I can post something about it. But I'd have to look at what they're looking to report and what they've reported in the past. I don't have time to do that, and I don't want to make this call very long. And I also did not expect anyone to ask me about Starbucks earnings. But yeah, again, Starbucks hasn't moved too much until we got some downside in December. We've kind of recovered now, though. We're trading around in the 90s area. But I would have to go over their last couple earnings to see what they're gonna do. But if you're asking me so you can take a play through earnings, then I'm also not gonna answer that, because you should not be trading anything through earnings. SoFi, I believe I've already had a couple of people ask me about SoFi. So their earnings are also Monday before open, so tomorrow before open. Then I don't really have too much. Hopefully, I hope none of you guys have trades going into tomorrow. Let me take a look. Overnight market. Yeah, please tell me you guys don't have trades going in tomorrow. Anyways, all right. It's not down, which is good. Up about 0.50% right now. Yeah, no, surprisingly not cooked. Is Lululemon having earnings this week? Okay, anyways, SoFi, I also, it's all going to depend on their earnings tomorrow. If investors like their earnings, it's not even about if they beat earnings, it's if investors and traders like the result of their earnings, and especially once they have their earnings call and discuss what they're looking forward to in the future, what's growth looking like, revenue, all of that. So that'll also really depend, but they beat last earnings. Let's see. But they have about the same target point as Q3. So that'll definitely be interesting. We'll see. But yeah, again, it's all just going to depend on what investors think and all of that. But I don't know what a company is going to do when their earnings come out. I can give my best guesses, and that's that. Lulu, they already had their earnings, or no, their earnings are okay. Anyways, yeah, so Lulu, I'm on the daily chart right now if you guys haven't noticed, but looks like it's been consolidating quite a bit this past month, or since kind of beginning of mid to end of January, pretty much consolidating in this certain area, but I'm not sure. Are you looking for it to do something next week? With our current market conditions and downside, I don't see that happening yet. It'll probably hold up this area, but not too much will happen, and it's down about $5 overnight. So if you're looking to play some upside on Lulu, then I don't know about that one. I definitely think this week will kind of be in consolidation once again. For tomorrow, already looking like we're down. Palantir. All right, take a quick look at Palantir. So yeah, we don't have Palantir earnings until, I believe that's next week. So that'd be next week, right? Let me just make sure I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, so that would be next, really on Monday? All right. Anyways. Again, Palantir is going to be the same thing, leading up to earnings this week. Again, with the downside we're getting right now, I don't think this is going to be an impressive play, especially heading into tomorrow. If the market does turn around, then yeah, sure, we could probably see again back above 80. But above 80, we haven't really gone anywhere just yet, and I think earnings will have to determine where Palantir price is going. I don't think we're going to get a ton of movement, until earnings come out, and that's kind of like a make or break thing. But yeah, currently we are down $4 on Palantir overnight. But so is everything. That's nothing crazy. But yeah, all right. Any more questions? I'm probably going to end this now, so we can all get back to yeah, this is going to be quite the week. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Definitely, if you're newer to trading, do not trade on a live account this week. Even if you're not that new to trading, please be very careful. Chiefs scored, shoot. All right. Well, then I will let you all go. Yeah, thank you all for joining, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.